November 10th, 2023. While Halloween time is over in northeastern Pennsylvania, many wonder, are the spirits going to return next October, or are they never going to leave us? Keystone Paranormal Society has its sights on one of the most haunted colleges in the area, Keystone College. Founded in 1868, many wonder how much tragedy a place can withstand. Cryptids, supernatural, paranormal, many wonder what else is in the shadows at Keystone College. We traveled up from Marywood University to Keystone College, a beautiful 276-acre campus that has maintained a firm hold on the prestigious Happenings magazine Best Local College Award over the past decade. However, Keystone has a seldom discussed legacy of darkness. Countless reports and legends bring the 14-person crew of KPS out to investigate what really lurks here. What will we find? What will we walk away with? We first learned about the infamous Moffett Hall. This current site has hosted true reports of a woman hanging herself in the basement showers. Many of the students that live there now, on the side closer to the creek, report that they can still hear her screaming and weeping. Miller Library sees many reports from campus safety of a woman working in the study area, but suddenly disappears when locking up the building for closing. The Capwell Science Center is a frequent spot for paranormal activity. The house was documented to burn down many years ago and sold to Keystone College. The popular legend is that 2 young children perished in this blaze. The Pennsylvania Paranormal Association researched this with a medium and found that there was indeed 2 childlike spirits in the basement hallway. The heart of hauntings at Keystone College is at Harris Hall. Many report a residual haunting, a spectral replay of an event where a professor jumps from the 4th floor window to his death. But that's not the only report. There's many evil spirits that are said to lurk within the halls.
There was one night where it was me, him, and DJ, who was going to join us but was not able to. We were all just working, doing whatever. We're spread around. Me and Dave were like sitting in the golf cart or going for pizza, something like that, whatever. And Dale calls on the radio freaking out. And this was a pretty tough guy. Like, he had 6 kids. He was working 16 hours a day to provide for those 6 kids. Like, he didn't take bullshit from anybody or anything. And he calls me seemingly on the verge of tears. And he's like, Scaresby, like, you guys gotta get up here right now. Like, you just get the fuck up here. Like, he's freaking out. So we get up here. And he said when he got to the 3rd floor, because the way this building works, the way lockdown works, you go up to the top floor, you shut off all the lights and stuff, you lock the stairwell doors, then you come down and on and on. He said when he came to the 3rd floor stairwell, when he went to open the door, he felt something pull the door so that he couldn't open it. And then he said he heard something like dogs barking or some kind of heavy thing scratching on the other side of the door. So that freaked him out, obviously, and he ran downstairs and he was sitting in the little recliner in the lobby, like sweating bullets, like looked like he was gonna cry any second. Like he was fucked up from it.
As we continue across campus, we reach the Art Center, which has many paranormal sightings and is said to even be built upon a native burial ground, with spirits still lurking, angry from their demise.
And it's late night art student stuff, and that door locks every time you close it. Like, you have to use a key to open it every time. And we were all just sitting around eating our ramen noodles, and all of a sudden the door just slowly swings open, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, like, look, the door is opening, and then just slowly shuts. Never figured out why. We just pretended it didn't happen, and we finished our projects. We had to.
So I'm talking to my friends Alex and Jess, and they said something like, let's go over there. Let's try to communicate with whatever is in there. And all the people with us are laughing like, yeah, okay, like there's no such thing as ghosts, like, let's go. So there we all are. We're all standing in the drawing studio there. It's a group like this. Everybody's kind of just shuffling around. People are like, the people that don't believe in ghosts are joking about how stupid it is. Like, and all of a sudden Alex comes sprinting out of the back and sprinting across the parking lot. And Alex was not a runner by any stretch of the imagination. And she was tweaking out, like she was terrified. And she just goes, Steve, like you gotta come in here right now. Like, you gotta see this shit. So we're walking together and I'm like, what's going on? And she goes, me and Jess were sitting on the tables in the ceramics studio and we started asking questions. Like who's here? Who are you? Kind of thing. And we started getting answers. I was like, well, what happened? She said, we told it to make one noise for yes, 2 noises for no, and it started responding. And it didn't just happen a couple times, it's been happening for the past 15 minutes. She's like, you gotta come in here and see this. She just like waves to us, like sit down on the tables. So we're sitting there, and a couple minutes go by, and it's like, there's an electricity in the air. If you've ever had a ghost experience, you probably know what I mean. It's heavy. You can feel it. It's almost like it's drawing energy. We're sitting in there, and they start asking questions again, like, are you afraid? Are you here? Things like that. Nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, there's a very different sound right after they ask a question. It's a creak. It's a loud creak. And then they ask another question and there's the same sound again from one specific spot in the room. And I'm shaking, like I'm panicking at this point because it's like I'm a president of a ghost club, but like I don't want to see fucking ghosts. Like that's very scary. It's good stuff to research and talk about, but to actually mess with it is a different story entirely. So I'm getting really scared, like I'm really nervous. I looked up and, you know, there was, just looked like darkness, sitting in a dark building at 11 o'clock at night. And they keep asking questions and it keeps responding, 1 for yes, 2 for no. And this goes on for a long time. This goes on for 10, 15 minutes. But then all of a sudden it changes. It stops responding. And they ask like, are you scared? Something like that. And then it does 1 creak. And then they said, are you scared of us? And it said no. And they asked, who are you scared of? Or like, are you scared of the person who just came in the room with us? And in response to that, from the opposite side of the room, just feel something like come in from the other room, like a shadow or a wind or something. And what I remember distinctly, like the image of that night that's stuck in my mind, and when they said, are you scared of the person that just came in the room, I watched some kind of dark shape that was no more than maybe this tall run from where the noise was coming from for the past 15 minutes, run around the corner of the room and hide behind the ventilator duct. And then we didn't get any more answers from it the rest of the night.
After our haunted walking tour at Keystone College, we went up the road to the Bluebird Diner, where we had a delicious meal before getting ready to ghost hunt for the night.
The woods of Keystone, the secrets they hold.
We began our journey into the far woods of Keystone's campus until we made it to many of the locations that are so haunted that many will not even go here at night. We made it to the neglected Siemens Family Cemetery, a notable location on campus that holds the remains of generations of the land's original owners. Students have long reported bizarre activity here, with many saying they see shadow creatures in the distance or even being chased by them. We're currently in the Keystone College Cemetery investigating. We have 2 bars on the EMF detector So we do have some electricity here. Let's move away. Steve, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
Is there something here with us?
I highly doubt it.
Oh, it's went dark.
I said dots, and I'm like,
Testing UV light on some of the graves in the cemetery at Keystone. You see the footstones there.
so who's gonna stay here?
As we made it further up the path and deeper into the woods, we were discussing many of the other sightings that are seen by students and locals in the area. One being that of large glowing purple eyes on the back campus. The popularity of Wendigo lore in recent years led both to attribute the sightings to the creature. They said they were being stalked by a large animal and felt like prey until they retreated from the woods. One of our members found something.
Oh, it's a vine.
It's a vine.
It's a vine.
Further up the path, we found a large rock formation that was noted by the old Native American tribes to be a gathering spot. While the paranormal history of this area is relatively unknown, we thought it may be a spot that spirits could gather and communicate with us, who may be stepping on ancient burial grounds, or a site that they do not want us to discover. We're at the rock formation now.
We are.
Steve's testing the
Cutting
laser
edge
grid.
laser grid
I
technology.
literally can't see anything other than this.
Oh my god.
We dropped down from 3 to 2. We could see just how untouched the pathways were when we saw old stone landmarks show us the way forward. We went deeper into the woods until we went to the old apple orchard, which is now a barren field. The group's favorite pieces of technology that we implemented during this investigation was that of the DOTS projector. This small handheld laser pointer cast a grid out, and some of the laser beams are said to glow brighter when a spirit would interact with them, perhaps harnessing the energy from the beams. Locals most often report sightings on the back trails of ghost lights. These are speculated to be from farmers of the old field and apple orchard, but no one knows for certain what these lights originate from. Not far from the field, we approached an abandoned Keystone pool. This pool, once used to help athletes train, now sits abandoned. And while not haunted, it's quite creepy. Just across from the pool, as we were flashing our lights, we saw 2 sets of eyes lock onto us from the light. Luckily, this was just 2 sets of deer. Or was it? We traversed back to the other side of campus, where there's reports of an old trolley station and the abandoned bridge. We walked past a creek and were reminded that spirits are said to have traveled along the running water, and it could be an energy source for them to manifest. As we approached the old trolley station foundation, right under this gazebo, the group felt most unsettled here. We employed 2 EVP devices to capture any sounds from that of the reported woman in white or woman in red. These 2 figures are said to have been waiting for the trolley and could be another example of a residual haunting. We used dots, the EVP detectors, UV flashlights, and the EMF reader all in this one spot. We sat in the dark and allowed anything in the vicinity to approach us. We were friendly and asked many questions, but our EVP devices caught no sound other than the rustling of team members. As it grew later in the night and colder, the group was restless. We wanted to see the bridge and decided it would be best to split up.
Alright, so we're gonna head down to the bridge now, guys, so we'll split up.
Okay, yeah, you guys can head out to the bridge and we'll stay up here.
Okay, that works.
I'll be cool
Sounds
staying here
good.
too.
For the final spot in our investigation, all we could see was the foundation of the bridge left. Nothing else remains. Many people report seeing an apparition cross the creek, yet no one is there and nothing is underneath them. We didn't catch any paranormal activity here at Keystone College. There's enough reports here to indicate to us that the college is indeed haunted. What else will we find on our next investigations? Stay tuned and subscribe to Keystone Paranormal Society to find out more.